Hey, yo, what's up? So, today I want to talk about something that's been on my mind for a few weeks and maybe even months at this point. And yesterday I had the opportunity of recording something that is illustrating exactly what I mean. And it is everything related to amount yield in war games and in arenas and possibly other PvP content. And so, obviously, this is going to be a video mostly talking about healers and seekers. And so there it is. And so currently, the amount heal that you do and that you see in war games and also probably in arenas is oftentimes an indication of performance. And so the higher you are on the scoreboard, the better you are as a player. And in contrast, the lower you are on the scoreboard, the worse that you are as a player. And so it makes sense overall because it gives you an idea, it gives people an idea of the performance of people, and basically you're able to rank the players in terms of performance. Especially right now with the tournament happening, we can see Blue that he's often like looking at the top players, both for damage but also for healing. But the thing is with the amount heal is that it has one important flaw. And it is that it is also considering overhealing. And so, what is overhealing? Overhealing is healing somebody that does not really need any healing. And so, maybe that person is 100% HP. And one important thing with healers is that we also have a lot of healing over time. And so, one common thing that we see as a healer is that you put healing touch on everybody in your party, usually 3 or 4 people, and so that brings a lot of hover healing. But how is that a problem? Well, if we go in the war game that I recorded yesterday, and so my guild was fighting a guild, and it ended up being a little bit underwhelming for us. So what my shot caller decided to do is that he decided to put some statics on the side to simply give the chance to our opponent. And so my static was one of those statics. And so we were on pause, we were not fighting, we were simply on the side. And so this thing happened about halfway through the war game. And so I think the war game was about 15 or 20 minutes. And so at around 10 minutes, this is where our shot call decided to put people on the side. So technically, I was on the side. I was not really participating, and so because of that, I should not be top healing because I'm actually not participating. I'm not healing anybody. But what I decided to do is that I decided to heal anyway because I had nothing else to do, and also knew that he would boost my stats on the scoreboard anyway. So, in fact, all my party members were stacked in one small area, and so it was easy for me to heal, and there were no opponents because we were like just alone in our little part of the map. And so it was very easy to put out like tons of healing without any resistance, without any opponent. And so because of that, I ended up being at the top of the scoreboard, even though I did not participate for all of the fight. And so obviously I think this is bad because this is not a good, meaningful representation of healing, because obviously people can abuse this system where maybe one healer's main goal would be to actually maximize overhealing to be on the scoreboard, to be like higher on the scoreboard, instead of actually healing and rescuing your teammates. You know, just saving people from death. And so, for example, what a healer might do to optimize for the scoreboard and appear like a better player is that he might use CDs and healing abilities uselessly instead of saving them for actually a critical situation. And I think that's an issue because I often see good healers being punished because their healing done is lower than other healers that might be optimizing for overhealing, for the scoreboard. And those people that are ranked higher in the scoreboard are usually rewarded, they are usually praised. And I think, yes, it gives an idea, but overall, I think it can be abused and that can be bad. And so, obviously, you can always check the VODs of those players if the players are recording. And so, but what I found is that, yes, you can check the VODs, but most people will look at the scoreboard and checking the VODs, it's much more time consuming and not everybody will look at it. And so the VODs are usually reserved for people within your guild where you want to share those VODs for people to learn. And so I think most people just look at the scoreboard to get a vague idea of all the ranking. And so as a healer myself, I believe healers should be rewarded for the rightful and meaningful performance by actually healing done and saving other players from that. And so not overhealing. I think overhealing is meaningless. It's not really important, and overall, I don't think it should be included in the scoreboard. And so personally, I think it would be better for the scoreboard to exclude the overhealing from the amount healed, and also add a new metric related to how many times someone died in the war game, or maybe possibly in the arena as well. Maybe the overhealing done could also be another metric as well in the scoreboard. And so that way we actually get a meaningful representation of what happened in the game, in the PvP content or whatever. And so that's kind of what I wanted to say in this video. And so here I'm simply going to leave the war game here. And so if you're interested in seeing that, and I think I was put on the side around 9 or 10 minutes in the match. And so if you look at the timer on the right, you can see the time. And so that being said, yes, I'm going to leave the war game, but the comms were both in French and English, and so it might be a little bit confusing for some people. And you know, like my static was mostly French speaking, but we also talked in English because we had like one English member in the party. So that's what it is. All right, peace.
Oh, there's a
right
big
off.
group there. Oh,
That's massive.
Yeah,
That's
right
like
now we're
killing
kind of
six.
losing though.
Pushed another one off.
Yeah,
That's
but he
another
said
kill.
nothing.
PJ's pulling them off. Sage is pulling them off. You guys are doing fucking amazing. Keep chaining them off the cliff. Keep it up.
I just
Do a
wanna go
little.
in and
Yeah,
die.
nice. Amazing fucking
learning
chains. Look at that.
myself
That's
what
what I want to
E.
see in these tournaments, guys. I see you chaining them off like that. It's
This is
fucking
good
great.
practice.
We're start a conveyor belt too. Now start chaining those guys that I just chained. For your teams, guys. Play with your groups. Keep it up. Keep it up. Some conveyor belts going here. It is 80% right now, so I mean, kind of up to you guys how you want to play it. Those groups that are sitting out right now.
I go.
Yeah,
Not
let's
the
go.
biggest-
Get the fuck in, boys!
You can't let them win.
Yeah, we could. Up to you guys. I'll leave it within your micros to determine what you guys want to do there. Not the biggest deal. Remember, another thing is Tempest Strike. So if you have high range, you can knock them off the point really well with Tempest Strike, but you gotta be really careful with how you use it too.
Buyer.
And we're just practice chaining them off. That's what I want our tanks to
Damage
really,
buff on the
really
two.
practice on. Doing conveyor belts
Ah,
and stuff, getting them
everything.
over to the point on that ledge where our tanks can deal with them. And then those with the long range chains can finish them off. Very good potential there.
And the stairs, the stairs.
Alright, 1 minute left.
Let's go, Plankton.
Win that shit.
Oh, I should do.
Alright, try and get a conveyor belt for our guys over here on the cliff. Chain them over.
Blast barrier on DB.
I pushed like 4 of them. Chain. Good job, Will Aster. Good job. Yep. Yeah, I'll try and conveyor him over, and you guys just chain him off from there, alright?
Let's go, Plankton.
Damage buff on me too.
Alright, good job, guys. Good job. 27 seconds left.
Oh, big pull on me.
Push onto their spawn, guys. I know you really want to, but just let them come up a little bit.
Yeah, we need to let it come a little.
There's only 15
Fall back.
seconds anyway.
Fall back.
Alright, 10 seconds left.
No.
10
No.
seconds left.
Blast barrier on DB.
Alright, GG's, guys.
GG's.
Respectful to them. I mean, we were once in their position too, so.